Okay, in the second part, we dedicate the second part to make two things. First thing is to apply the snow in three different tips. For example, the first is using the white snow between the grass. The second one will be to put the wet snow both sides of the street of the terrain, and the third one is using with a mix of elements to apply the white snow over some elements, for example the fence, the tree, the stones, and obviously over the tank. Okay, we put the tank at the end of the process, but I need to move a lot of the diorama. I'd like to break the tank before now have which elements that the demo of Jan. Okay, I forgot to glue in the first part some elements that I told you in the first demo that I usually get in the nature. In this case will be a small part of roads of parts of a small tree. Okay. If I consider that it's great for the scale, I glue over the surface. Okay. In this case, we just glue two or one, just one, maybe. No, two rods over more over oh, I'm so sorry, I'm hungry. I don't have time to eat. Okay, I glue two kinds of rods over the grass. You can see where, okay, over the grass, and at the end start to put the white snow over between the grass. Okay, and then I take and put a little bit of instant dry cyano and take okay, and take a little bit of glue, push a little bit over the surface and wait to glue. Hope it's possible to glue. We must push with some energy because we need to introduce the rod into the grass. Okay. Well, that will be difficult. We need a little bit of hot. Maybe for you it's strange, but for me it's absolutely imprescindible tool. Obviously, it's difficult to understand, but I'm sure that for me it's absolutely necessary to. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, I try to glue over the surface. It's possible, it's not possible. And while try to spend time way to glue, I take the first product. It's difficult, I'm so sorry. Okay, don't worry, out. Okay, this product is a very, I don't know if you understand, it's diminuto. It's very small. You can see, how you can see here, it's a small dust, ready to applicate into the snow. The best way to show you is using over the grass. You don't need to apply it here. Take a plain brush and distribute all of the snow between the grass. As you can see, automatic the fiber of the grass appear over the snow. In any moment, I apply a little bit of the product over the stone. Just need to remove and place the snow in the zone that you like. Oh, we have a problem. Better, no? It's better to see. Okay. And then you just place the snow over the place that you like. And cover all the areas that you need. You can see it's easy difference between the grass and the snow. Okay. Okay. After that, the next process is to take both of the elements. In one of these, we put another time a mix of ultra glue and water. More or less 6% of water and 40% of ultra glue. Not dense with high density, because when you see, I need that the product expand a lot, okay? As you can see, it's very, wait a moment. Perfect. As you can see, it's very liquid, the mix. Remember, 60% of water, 40% of ultra glue, okay? And the other place, we just need cleaner, okay? Why cleaner? Because I need that the surface broke the superficial tension. And the first step is to apply it, wait a moment, here. A little bit of cleaner here. And the next step that I consider for you is very easy. You just take two pipes. And the first step is take a cleaner and put over the snow. This step broke the superficial tension of the surface and help in the next step to apply the ultra glue with water. As you can see, the drops is down over the terrain and automatically expand. Okay. It's better than to use a small pipe because this kind of pipe is very, very large. And when you're sure that all the surface is complete, just need maybe in this case take a paper and clear the exit. Don't worry if you be a white blue color. Don't worry because in a few minutes this color disappear and convert and the mix in transparent. Okay. And just not to wait. You can see it's transparent in a few minutes, and you can see perfectly the snow between the grass. Okay. Repeat the process in this place, and remember, don't forget, don't any problem if in this place there are a white blue color, because in a few minutes disappear. Okay. Let's start in this place and make the same process. Use the element. If you like, you can use another pipe. And apply with the pipe. Is the situation of the surface is difficult, you just need to use a pipe. The same process, use a plain brush and remove the snow over the surface. And it's necessary to apply another layer. Don't worry, you can apply it very easy. Expand the snow over the terrain if you need to move a little bit the stand. And another time place the snow in the place. We will go more speed. I hope that you consider easy step by step. Just need to distribution the snow over the surface. After that, remove the snow. In this case, in this area, we put snow in all area. But in this case, we create zones without snow and snow to see the contrast. Okay. Then we can put a little of snow and another distribution. Be careful to put the snow over the stone because this process will we do it in the next step. Okay, and now the next step, take a cleaner, excuse me, and another time put the mix of ultra glue and water in the same places that I put the cleaner. Another time the use to the cleaner is because we need to break the superficial tension, as if I put the mix in a place without cleaner, it's probably that the mix don't expand and create a ball of ultra glue. Okay, I must to create a little bit of no, it's ready here. And just must to wait. We can accelerate the process using the hard drive. As you can see, definitely the white blue color disappeared. Okay, disappeared. And you can see too that if you put 2 layers of snow in concrete thorns, for example, in the base of the tree, create a beautiful accumulate of snow. But you can see here, it's possible that you can see here, yeah, and this is the first step to create snow. If I see, it's absolutely glue over the surface. I think it's easy. It's not difficult. Any question? Any question? I have another translator, because if you have any question in Czech.
So this is something like the base layer for the snow.
Sorry?
So this is something like the base layer for the snow,
Yeah.
and then you build up another layers, another layers.
Excuse me.
It's something like base layer,
Yeah.
and you will build up some more layers of snow.
No, no, no.
No.
You can see in the demo three ways to create snow. This is the first time, the first step. Now I create the second step, or the second way to create. In this case, wet snow. When you go for in a street or in a terrain with snow that start to remove, you can see the color is not white, not compact. It's really transparent, and in this case, it's usually take the color and mix with the mood. The tone is more dark brown, or depends on the color of the base. He create a mix with the snow, wet snow, and the tone or the color of the terrain. This is the next step that we'll do. Okay. Now the next step is I am use a snow binder. It's a element that compact the wet snow and a little bit of glossy varnish. Okay. Now I take here over the in a glass or on a I don't know the name. What's the name? What is this?
Like a small glass or?
Glass or okay, it's a recipient. I don't know. Okay, you put a little bit of this product. In this case, now I send you to reference that you can see here. You can see the difference between one and the other one. You can see the difference.
Like all of them are dry.
Okay.
Yes.
Your right hand it's a wet snow, and the left hand you have white snow or pure snow. In this case, we use
something like a fresh snow.
Yeah.
And wet snow.
You can see the effects when I finish it, but basically it's the white grease tone of the right hand. Is because I try to get a wet snow, and the other one is pure snow, white snow, and this is the difference. You can say to the people, and you can touch the texture, because the white snow it's absolutely fine, and the other one is more with more texture. You can touch, don't worry. you the first step is easy, no? The first step is easy, no? And the second one is easy to sure. Okay, while the snow returned to me, I explained the next step. Okay, in the recipient I put the wet snow. Okay, and I take a snow binder. It's a fluid that I must to use to compact the mix to applicate over the sand. Well, okay. I take, for example, an old brush, and I start to applicate and create a mix. When I start to create a mix, I take a little bit, or here, please, a little bit.
So it is wet snow with snow binder together. Yeah.
In this step, we must to mix wet snow and the snow binder. Okay, and to create the effect of transparency, we add a little bit or glossy varnish. It helps to mix well the paste. It's important that you can see the density of the product that you made, that you must to create. In a moment, if you consider it's more dense or more liquid, just need to add a little bit more of wet snow. And this is the correct texture that you can get.
Let's say now you're creating something like a base or main substance for snow.
Sorry?
So now you're creating the main substance for snow, like the main layer.
Yes, depend the kind of snow that you must to apply. The density is different. I think I understand it, or not?
Yeah.
Okay, after that, we take a middle brush and start to applicate the mix in both sides of the street. I don't remember the name. The street is the road. Thank you. So sorry. Okay, and we start applicate, try to put correctly. Okay, perfect. And start to apply. I think I must to make a little more. And start to cover all the side with the mix. Don't worry if you put more than you need, because it's easy to remove. I must make more mix. Any question? All is clear. Remember the density? If, like in a moment, it's a lot of fluid, add a little bit more or snow with the snow. A little more.
For how long it dries? What is the drying time?
For example, this layer, in just 1 hour.
Just 1 hour.
Okay. Yes. In fact, I try to accelerate the process because I want to show you the way to create natural effects, the mix with the mud with the snow. More of this. Okay. And start to apply another time. This product is acrylic, okay? If you see that your brush is open, the fibers, don't worry. You can clean with, you just clean with water and return to the original form, okay? But don't forget to clean because it's possible that when it's dry, it's more difficult to recover. Okay. Return to the small brush. Finish this side and applicate in the other side. No problem if you put the snow over the fiber of the grass because it's easy to return and using just water. Maybe this layer needs more dense, but no worry. After that, it's time to remove the brush with a little bit of paper, and you can see it's very easy to I take the pencil, the brush. You can see it's open, but you need to. Obviously, it's perfect to use soap and water, but just with water it's possible to remove the product and the brush still in the same form. Okay. Now I take a little bit of water and start to move the product and up to the surface. Create a transitions between the compact mix and unify with the snow, with the mud. Same here. Remember that the white-blue color of the mix disappear after a minute. You can move the product in all the places that you like it, and create different areas with different density of the product. With the water, we can create fusions between the mud and the snow. If you need, you can take another one and place here. Remove the excess here, for example. Okay. and check the other side and move the same. Try don't put much water, and remove a little bit of water in a paper. And you can, it's possible to create a transition between the snow and the parts of the grass. And if you need to create a little bit or thorns with the snow, just take a little bit here and move here, using the water to create fusions. Okay, more or less, this is the final result, and I must wait to dry. While this process of dry, it's on course, now I use this time to show you some ways to complete the scenery. Okay, for example, now remove these places, try to create texture. Because we can approach the slow process to dry this kind of snow. When pass, for example, 30 minutes, you can take the brush, and if in any zones or any places there are a lot of density, you can remove a little bit. For example, here, push a little bit. You can see well, perfect, and create texture, because the wet snow don't reduce or don't mix with the water the uniform way. Needs to change depending the areas. In the other side the same. And when I consider that the texture is perfect for us, just must wait that the snow dry. Okay, for example, in this tone, I like to remove a little bit of product because I like to appear more in the road. Take a little bit, put here, and apply. Why? Because if you see the tracks of the tank is stop here, and I need that snow touch a little bit the tracks of the tank. Okay, and then I take a little bit of snow and approach in the road of the track, and I put here, remove, and perfect. And wait when I wait to dry, I explain two things that I usually do to reach the stem. For example, using this kind of trees, you can see in this case that is just one tone of green, and I like to create a small variation of the green. You see? Perfect. you can see well. Okay. In this one, okay. This one. Any question? While you see the vignette, any question? No? Perfect. Okay. You asked me in the first part of the demo if I usually paint or not paint the natural elements or the commercial elements that I use in my vignettes. In this case, I like to do it because the atmosphere it's not real because I have a lot of green and the snow have a big contrast. What happened? Okay, perfect. I move this one a little bit. You see well? Perfect. In this case, this tree is just one tone, and I like to variate the tone for adapt to my vignette. Okay, it's very easy. I take, for example, you can see lime green is more light in tone than the base tone of the tree. Okay, just need to take a little bit. Okay, I take the airbrush, and I usually use, for me it's better to use cleaner like a thinner, because the final process is more finest result than using acrylic thinner. It's perfect, but I decide to use cleaner because for me the final result is more fine. Okay, I take this one, remove a little bit, and I use the technique of light and shadows. First I like to create lights, and I first cut, for example, this one. I create a small tree. It's very easy to create. In fact, if you need to see the trunk, you just need to remove this one, and you have a basic tree. Okay, perfect. After that, take the airbrush, and I use the airbrush over the tree. Not in all the tones. Select any tones, and start to move or create new tones or new colors over the stem. Okay, perfect, thank you. I can paint in some tones more. And, for example, using the same aerograph, the same airbrush, use ochre brown. Just one portion. And a little bit of cleaner. More or less 50-50, more or less, and mix well. And repeat the process. I just applicate in a concrete point of the tree. You can use a lot of colors, depends the documentation of the reference photos that you have and you like to imitate. It's a subtle variation, but you can create more kind of tones, changing just the color. I'm going to dry this strip. As I see you in a few minutes, after spend many moments or many minutes to dry, you can take a little bit of water with the brush and touch this wet snow and create more texture. And you can create a transition between the wet snow and the mood more realistic. If you need to create a zone with snow in the middle of the road, you can do the same process. It's important to know that when you create a vignette, it's not the same that create, for example, a tanker or, of course, a plane. You don't need to be exactly and technically perfect. Then the scenery, it's possible to have some things with no more details. Just see the photograph, but don't need to put the brush in the exactly point. No. The nature is it's different. It's no, it's exactly the same. You can put for example, in this case, I don't need to put all the snow in the same place. No, I can put here more, or here, or not put not here anything. It's aleatory, okay? It is the way I prefer make a natural or a plane. After that, take this tree and where I can play or where I can put. Where place? I take this one. It's I don't know the exact name, but it's a finish with dangerous. And for example, I like to put here between the stones. Okay, I introduce a little bit, remove, Try to remember what is the hole and take the glue a little bit. You can take the tweezers and just applicate in the hole, and you have another level and another more details to the scene. Okay, we can do it with, for example, this one to change or create contrast of tone. It's possible. You have. Yesterday I saw the landscapes of this tone is absolutely marvelous. You have a lot of tones, different tone with contrast between the trees, and in this case we will be the same. We take a little bit of this tree, take a little bit more, and with just mist we can create more contrast. Why? Take a tweezers and just use the glue and put here. Try it. Okay, the same here in the other side. A little bit of glue. Put here. You can make the hole, or directly, if you consider, you can put the pieces over the surface, and with the instant glue, it's possible to get. You have a lot of things to create more different. For example, I have another kind of trees with different colors. The same reference or the same lines of reference, this one. Yeah, I like to create new tones, okay? Because I take a little bit of this one. It's not the same in tones. And I decide to put back of the fence. Okay, perfect. I take a little bit with the tweezers, glue, and put here. Just wait that the glue is active, and still search more things that are active. And in case, for example, I have this one. It's totally different. Take a little bit, and I create an ivy. For example, in the front of the fence. I take this one. Maybe in this case it's more dangerous because it's possible that the process to glue is more detailed, but create more contrast. Take the tweezers, and in this case try to put on the side of the element, just on the side, and be carefully apply over there. And continuous create contrast. You can take the little bit and put more press over the fence. For example, use this piece and applicate the glue in the back of the vegetative. Okay. In this side, the same thing. Take a little bit of the product, of one product. Take the tweezers and place here. And this is the process. I think it's very easy to do it. For example, I like to put a bigger stone. Let's take the stone, bigger, because in the moment that I put the stone and I put the snow, this stone creates more contrast. Was the same. Take a little bit of inside dry, and tweezers. put here. Hope that the glue process is fast. Okay, perfect. And this is the easy way to create ambient in the scene, okay? The third and the final process to apply the snow is using powder snow. Any questions? Don't sleep, please. Don't sleep. I must recognize that for me, when I must demo, no question, for me it's a bad sensation. Okay. Now, we'll accelerate the process to dry the wet snow. In this moment, now we create something like similar than footprints, okay? In this side, imagine that it's a print, a foot, and just need to push simulate the finger trips, the finger prints. And the other side, the same process. Need to more dry. I dry with the hair dry, but you can see the way to create the finger trips. This step is very important because when I get to dry completely this stone, the next effect using oil brusher and a little bit of enamel thinner, get a more realistic sensation. Okay. Now, while we decide to dry, we spend to show you the next step. That is applicate the powder snow over thorns, for example, the tree. In this moment, we can put now the tank over the surface and start to see the effects. What do you think? It's possible to glue or wait that the mood completely dry, because the components of the mood, acrylic mood, has a little bit of glue, and it's possible that the tank is glue over the surface easily. Okay, you can see the effects. Sorry?
Can I have a question about the snow mixture, the second type of snow? Does the mixture reduce on volume when drying?
No.
No.
No, just, I don't
So I
know.
put just an amount I want. No.
Sorry?
So I apply amount what I want me to add more.
No, when you apply the wet effects, no, sorry, the wet snow, no reduce, but you can see when it's completely dry, create, how can I say, please give me one of the se convierte en una textura porosa.
It gets the porous texture.
Becomes a porous texture. Okay. Why in this case? Because I need that the effect is the same as the real. The wet snow, no, it's tan compact that the wet snow, and in the moment that I apply the oil brusher, this porous effects is better to create the next effects. Okay.
You are very fast because we built the diorama like this for 3 or 4 months and you 3 or 4 hours.
Just practice. No,
It's because of the hair dryer.
for now.
Because of the
No. Obviously,
big hair dryer.
Should we buy some hair dryers?
no.
Like the magic is the
No, I have the real thing here in the back. And at the end I said, this is the final effect. No. Obviously, I have many time to create this thing, but I try to show you that use no more products, you can get realistic visual. But I try to add the people to find not just commercial product. It's important, it's necessary, but when you get more or you building more vignettes, the techniques process, it's not necessary. You must learn at the end, first the techniques, but while you make more models, more dioramas, the technique for you is very easy. And then appears the creativity, appears the new sensation. They try to find another way to create elements, details, accessories. At the end, in the beginning, obviously the first step that you must to know it's the technique. Know the product, know the techniques, know the times to dry, times to make the mood, for example. But when you get this knowledge, you start to think about where I can explain my creativity. First, knows the technique. When you have the technique in your into yours, let's start to create using the creativity. This is always the thing that when I have a workshop with my members, it's the first things that I say. It's necessary that you know the technique, because your head needs to part the process in two parts. First part technical, and the second part creativity. If you know that the technical, the creativity go out alone. No, no, oh, I don't like to know. It's very easy to do, but you must to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dioramas. After that, the creativity is very easy to create. I hope that you understand. Okay, the next step, take off the car, the tank, and create the powder snow. The process is similar than the wet snow, but we must to applicate more to wet snow, powder snow, and little bit of powder snow. Take another time an old pencil, an old brush, sorry, and mix. Okay. You can use, for example, 2 glossy varnish to accelerate the mix, but no much, just 3 or 4 pieces. And it's important that you know the texture. Maybe more dense than the first option. Sometimes, when I need to create I create more white texture, I add a little bit of white acrylic paint, but not necessary. Okay, you can see the texture. It's possible to see? Yeah, perfect. This is the density of this mix. After that, use another small brush and start to apply. In this case, we apply over the tree, and in the first step, it's not detailed application. You can apply on over both sides of the road. Don't worry. But in this case, it's more necessary to put the mix more detailed, because in this case you must remember that the snow usually down vertical, and just take the elements that considered horizontal, and you, for example, you put, for example, a little bit of snow in a vertical place with anything that support, maybe will be real. The people say no, when they air the snow, it's over the vertical places. Yes, but in this case we try to make a realistic stand without the exception that you can find in the natural. Okay. And then you can take, for example, we can take a person in the truck, and start to find elements horizontal. This process is really more detailed than the previous, but we need to create a total realistic effect of snow over the places. Example here, you can find well. You can see well.
Yes.
Perfect. It's important. For example, in the union of 2 roads, for example, try to play well. You can see that the density of the snow helps to apply well the snow. You can see my head? Yes?
Just a little bit.
Oh, I have a little bit of blood in my head.
We didn't see.
If you have a problem because I put a little bit of snow where no place, just use another kind of pencil, of brush with a little bit of water and remove. No final well test. Okay. Try to find another horizontal places of the tree. Okay. Okay, here. And finally, the process to apply here the snow. Same process in the border of the defense. We can see that always have a drop is help for us to apply the snow. See well? Perfect.
Yes.
In the back, in the horizontal tables. Okay, here you can see the same. In this case, I usually clean the brush and reduce. And for example, on the stones, okay, here, okay, take the same process, apply over the stone the snow. Try to find always the vertical effects. Of the stones. No more stones, no, here a little bit. Okay, and now about the trees. I usually use where is I usually use a plain brush, and to apply the snow over the trees my system is here, is this one. Just touch a little bit. Obviously, try to find the vertical elements. And the other elements too. A little touch is necessary. More pressure is probably that broke the tree or any elements. go. When I go to the plane, tell me, because it's possible that move the stand in operas in the TV. And the one. Here. Searching always the action of the gravity. And now depends the finest that you like it, but I consider that is the final in this step. Okay, but this is the end of this step. Just 10 minutes.
You track yourself and check what you will
Okay, perfect. Can I keep it?
I'm sorry. Yes, you can keep it everything after lunch.
Perfect. You like it? You like it? Yeah. It's for you, eh?
Yes. Thank you.
No, I need to. Okay. I need to apply. Please give me the vignette, please. Please give me the vignette. I forgot to. No. You see better. Okay. I forgot to put the tank. Okay. The same technique is when I used to apply the snow over the tank. I need with the snow, and in this moment it's very important to know what is the place the snow is over the tank, and in this moment it's very important to very detail. Okay. For example, you can put over these elements, but now in 1/72 scale is very important. Don't put a lot of, because it's out of scale. In this moment we can spend putting snow in the tank maybe 2 hours. Obviously no, but depends that you like it. You can see, okay, I hope so. It's possible to, okay, better. Please.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I tried no hide the effects of Jan, but in some places I put the snow that you can see the final effects. It's okay?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. I must recognize that this scale is very complicated to put the snow because it's necessary a great level of detail. About I don't know is the correct word, but you know, symmetria. You try no put the snow in the same places in both sides. You must break the visual because it's natural in the settings. No, the same elements on the right and the left. In Spanish is symmetry. I don't know if it's the same in English. Clean the pencil, the brush, and start again. And more or less, this is the final effects. Obviously, it's necessary to applicate more mood and more snow on the wheels, but just as a fast example to applicate the snow. Repeat, if you have models on 172, please be carefully and spend many time to put the snow. Okay, it's a basic process. And after, before to send you the final vignette on the hand, I try to dry the sides of the road. Excuse me. Do you see it good?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's okay.
Okay. Final step. And the last step is take the tank out and try to dry another time both sides of the road. And the last step for me is the most exciting because it's the moment that you unify tones between the snow and the grass. Okay. For this, take dark brown or brusher and put a little bit over the recipient. Wait a moment. Just a little bit, and of course using a pipe, take a little bit of phenomenal-less. Until get a very fluid texture. As you can see, I see it's very liquid. Okay. You can see it's very liquid. If you put more enamel, don't worry. But okay. Now, for me, it's very funny process. I hope that the surface is dry. We must integrate the mud zone with the wet snow zone. You can see well. Fingerprints, for example, we take this one and change the tone of the snow. It's not complete dry, but no problem, because when in this case, when the surface is completely dry, we can repeat this process and integrate more the transition between the snow and the mud. But you can see here, for example, how change the fingertips using wet effects. Because under the snow there is the mud, and it mixed with the mud and the snow, create a brown tone of snow. Okay, this side is okay, more or less. Change the side. And in this zone is probably you can see better this effect. It's not dry too, but don't worry. And in 5 hours you can get a small vignette perfect to present your models, figures, and create an atmosphere and justify why you use this kind of watering on the tank. Many times I saw, for example, here a beautiful tank with a lot of watering effects, but maybe it's necessary that that you can show the people not just the watering effects. It's the watering effects and a small terrain that justify this kind of effects. And maybe this one of the, is in this case using winter terrains will be possible, the way to show your tanks with winter snow or winter effects. Finally, the last touch. And maybe sometimes it's possible that the mood, if you use other elements apart the product, no shine a lot, no problem. The first step will be use wet effects. For example, take wet effects, and of course take a pipe another time. For example, no, this one. This one too. And on the whole of the terrain. No, obviously, for example, I put the tank. But for example, when the tank move, the trucks move the snow, open, and usually return to the principal zone. And then, for example, you can take this one and take the back of the tank, so, or here. When this product dry, the appearance is very shiny, but reduced. This is the way that you need to use, in my case, ceramic varnish, because in 2 layers you create a perfect puddle, no? Yes, no? Okay. But this layer create a very wet effects, searching the whole of the terrain, and this is the end. Excuse me, just a moment, please, just a moment. The last one. Just a moment. Now it's perfect. Yeah.
Já bych vám chtěl poděkovat Jorgemu, že přijel a že jste tady byli a vlastně tady už máte kompletní podložku a děkuju vám.